Welcome to this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. Today's program, we're talking about two great ways to say no to crime and help make our communities a little bit safer. We're talking about National Night Out and the Dog Walker Watch program. We'll have all the details in these two great programs coming up right after this. Welcome back to On the Scene. We're joined now by Major Steve Patterson with the Suffolk Police Department. Thanks for being with us today.
Morning.
You know, we're here today to talk about a topic that we do about this time every year, but every year it's just as special, and we're talking about National Night Out. Now, specifically, we want to get into what is National Night Out, just in case you don't know, but want to start out by noting the fact that the city of Suffolk and all of our residents can be proud to know that we were voted #1 in the nation. Last year, it's the third time we've reached that honor for our National Night Out celebration and all the parties and things that go on across the city. There's some judging that goes on by the National Association of Town Watch, and they determined Suffolk to be the #1 city in our population category in the nation, so we're quite proud about that. So we feel like we do National Night Out right here in Suffolk, but if someone is watching the show and goes, okay, you said National Night Out 10,000 times already, what the heck is it? How would you describe National Night Out?
Well, Tim, it's an opportunity for the communities and the police and other city agencies to get together and celebrate the victories of crime prevention and solving those crimes that do occur, and then ultimately just getting to know one another. That's one of the avenues we sometimes often fail at as government or as police departments and communities. We don't spend time getting to know each other, know their concerns, know our concerns, try to work together to solve the problems.
And of course, with the city of Suffolk, the municipal government, what we do is we kind of help organize some of the National Night Out, but really it's up to the individual communities to have their own block party or whatever kind of event they're going to plan. And really that's where the success of National Night Out is truly measured, by the communities that invest their time, energy, resources to make these things happen, again, in their own community.
You're exactly right, Tim. We start the kickoff and the finales, and we help out with awards and things like that. But ultimately, you're right. It is the community. It's the community's taking back the neighborhood or getting to know one another events, and all we do is supplement them. We pay a visit and you know, we try to assist them where we can, but ultimately, yes, it is their events.
And of course, National Night Out, in case you're wanting to circle that on your calendar, always the first Tuesday in August, which of course we always like to think it's the hottest day of the year. Everything starts with a kickoff, and this year it'll be held again at the pavilion behind the Visitor Center. So we'll kind of gather there, so everyone's welcome to come out to that. But after that, the city officials and all the judges and things are going to go out throughout the city to kind of see what everybody's got going on. You know, again, it is a competition on the local level that we judge, but really everybody's a winner for participating, quite frankly. And what the tours will do is go around and kind of visit all the communities, and then, you know, kind of rank everybody on how many people you have, what kind of things you have going on. It could be as simple as a hot dog cookout. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. Of course, we have some bigger events where we have the combined communities that come together. I think of Obacy and the Chuckatuck, Oakland, out in those areas, two of the bigger ones there. Holland does a great event every year. So again, it's throughout the city of Suffolk, people gathering, as Major Patterson said, to kind of say no to crime, get to know your neighbors, come on out on a nice summer evening, hopefully not too oppressive with the heat, but regardless, we have a lot of fun, and just gather together to kind of get to know one another and, you know, again, tell crime, hey, we're not going to put up with you in the city. And you know, it's all our public safety partners, it's you know, city departments, it's everyone coming together to help provide resources and opportunities for communities to make it a success. And one thing to note, when we start talking about the communities, you know, certainly we're taking community signups right now that people can sign up their community and let us know what you're doing as a community. And we'll put that on the National Night Out website, and we'll have that address on the screen. And again, when we get closer to National Night Out, we'll also have all the parties that are going to be taking place throughout the city on the website. So if you're looking to find out, okay, what party is near me? Well, again, that information will be on that website as we get closer to the event, because everybody's still out there planning and putting things together to make this happen. But what is some of your experiences with National Night Out? You know, you've been around, been doing this for quite some time, but your experiences going out on the tours, meeting with everybody, I mean, it just seems like a night full of fun, and everybody's out there just trying to have a good time and, again, say no to crime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Tim. It's a good time to get out and meet the folks you talk with all year long, and hear about the successes and talk about the failures and try to redevelop the friendships you may have. Everybody's so busy. It's hard to stay in touch with everybody all year long, and you see these folks and you get out and have soft drinks and usually, as you said, hot dogs and hamburgers. Sure. And some people get very elaborate, and you know, it's just an opportunity for, you know, in today's world, in today's police environment, to see us as people and us look at them as people, and we come together and try to bond and work on a partnership to continue moving forward. A lot of good events out there, a lot of good games going on at some of the events, and You'll see a lot of dance-offs and contests, and it's a pretty good time. People try to outdo each other. There's a lot of informal competitions out there,
Yeah.
I think.
But again, all in the good nature of what the city of Suffolk as a whole, with everybody coming together to get a great message coming out of there. And you mentioned one thing in your response right there, the fact of kind of getting to know the men and the women behind the badge, and that's both for police and for certainly our fire and rescue personnel that are out there, because certainly sometimes they interact with both departments in situations where maybe it's not something good happening, so to speak, and y'all have to respond. But obviously this is a situation where something good is happening,
Exactly.
and everyone can kind of get to know everybody. Everybody lets their hair down, so to speak, and just really have a good time. Like you said, a lot of dancing, and I know we have footage from over the years of a lot of police and fire folks out there, cutting a rug and really having a good time. And I think that really puts a face behind the badge, and I think that's very, very important.
I couldn't agree with you anymore. It is a good time. There's a lot of fun things out there. A lot of bad press over the past year about some police-involved things, and I would like to think that the men and women in Suffolk Police and Suffolk Fire, that we're above that kind of stuff, and the relationship we have with our community, we want to maintain, and we want to foster, and we want to continue to build on it. And I think that's one of the reasons why, as a department, we're so successful, and as a city, we're very successful because of the relationships we build. And National Night Out's almost like our Christmas, I guess. It's we all get together and have fun that day. So it's a good time for us, good time for the city, and good time for the community.
It's a great tagline, National Night Out, it's Christmas in August, So to put that on a banner somewhere, you just helped us out there. I appreciate that, the things we learn through the shows we do here. But, as part of National Night Out, certainly we want to get the word out there and, publicize as much as possible. Tuesday, August the 4th, again, if you're circling that on your calendar. But one of the events we have leading up to it, and we renamed it last year, so let's clarify what we're talking about here, the National Night Out Duck Pluck, and that takes place at one of our TGIF concerts. It'll be Friday, July the 10th at Constance Wharf Park and Marina. But again, if you're going, okay, a duck pluck, what the heck is that? I'm going to let you take care of explaining a little bit about what a duck pluck is.
It's not as bad as it sounds, but ultimately what it is for years we did the duck race, and we had found that the tides really weren't cooperative with us, and Mother Nature didn't help out a lot. So in order to have a successful event, we went with the duck pluck, which is basically we take, I believe it's about 200 ducks, and we put them in an inflatable pool, rubber ducks, shall I say.
Yes.
And throughout the night, people in the National Night Out Committee will be handing out cards to the attendees at TGIF. And basically, at the end of the night, we'll pull a card, and if your number's it, you win a gift package.
Right.
And that's what the duck pluck is.
And again, a great way to promote National Night Out to a great audience there at the TGIF concert series. And want to thank our Suffolk Parks and Recreation Department for putting that on again this year. And again, that's from 6 until 9:30, the TGIF. And of course, the actual plucking of the duck, so to speak, the numbers there will happen during the course of the evening. So you want to make sure you get there early so you can get your ticket. The National Night Out Committee will be on site handing out free tickets. Again, the event is free. The tickets are free. We'll be handing those out, and just listen for your number, hopefully to be called, and you could be a big winner that night. And again, that's Friday, July the 10th at Constance Wharf Park and Marina, TGIF. And the band that evening is the Rhythm Express Band. So again, something to put on your calendar there and come on out and support National Night Out before it actually gets to the big night, again, Tuesday, August the 4th for National Night Out. We have our kickoff, as noted, that afternoon at evening, and then again we'll proceed on out there with the tours. But again, the tours are only successful, I keep saying this, because of the people of the city of Suffolk. I mean, Suffolk is just a growing environment. I mean, it's the largest landmass city in Virginia, and again we're number one in the nation, we said, for National Night Out. But it's successful again because of the communities that partner together, whether you're doing a group event, and it could be as simple as just you have a cul-de-sac and you get some families and friends together to go out there and have a cookout, or just do snow cones or popcorn or whatever. And it doesn't have to be elaborate, but the fact that you're participating is the key.
You're exactly right. Just participation alone. There's never been a year that we've ever complained we had too few communities involved.
Right.
We try to provide as much time as we can with each stop, and ultimately we get, I think successfully, we have been to pretty much every location that's on our list, and we try to spend a good bit of time there till we have to move on to the next one. But you're exactly right. The communities are the ones that drive this. The communities who we're supporting in this, and ultimately, we work to support each other, and that's the big asset to National Night Out.
Good deal. Well, Major Patchen, thank you for your time to talk about National Night Out. And want to note again, be sure to check out the National Night Out website. We'll have that URL on the bottom of the screen. Again, you can find out what it's all about, find out about the events and things that will be taking place near you, or again, if you want to crisscross the city and go to another community, have at it. Because again, all these events and free are open to the public. Again, a great way to network with your community, your friends and neighbors, and just kind of, again, help Suffolk be a safer place, say no to crime, all in the name of National Night Out. So again, Major Patterson, thank you for your time today, and we'll have more On the Scene when we return. Welcome back to On the Scene. We're joined now by Suffolk Police Department Captain James Danny Bowie. Captain Bowie, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. We talked about National Night Out in the first part of the show. Now we're talking about a new program coming to the city of Suffolk, the Dog Walker Watch. Now this program is connected to National Night Out because the parent organization, the National Association of Town Watch, had kind of brought this program up, and City of Suffolk, we're going to be starting to take part in it this year. So tell us a little bit about what the Dog Walker Watch program is all about.
The Dog Walker Watch program is it's a crime prevention program, and it's set up for people who live in the community and who are familiar with their community that are out and about on a daily basis. And it's specifically designed for people who are out and about walking their dogs, obviously, by the title, but it can be utilized by people who are out just walking in general without their dogs, or people out, doing their physical fitness, out jogging. And it's designed for people while they're out and about, doing those things, to keep their eyes open for any suspicious activity that they may see, or things that don't look like they belong in a specific area, and making a phone call to the police department.
And of course, one of the unique things about the target audience, so to speak, people who walk their dog or maybe do exercise in their community, usually do that on a certain schedule. So again, they kind of know that if 5:30 in the morning, if they're out and about, and they know what the territory's like, they know who kind of comes and goes at the time. Not being nosy as much as just being observant.
Exactly.
Correct?
Exactly. I know the target is for people who walk their dogs are out early in the morning, they're out during the day, they're out later in the afternoon, they're out late at night. And what it's designed to do is just train them in what may be suspicious activity, something that they may have not noticed before.
Right.
Following the training that we'll have on July 23rd, they may notice these things as being somewhat suspicious and make a phone call.
Got it. Now, of course, you mentioned the training on July 23rd. This is a free event that we're going to have here in Suffolk City Hall in City Council Chamber. Starts, I believe, at 6 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
About an hour long, I think, give or take a few minutes
Yes, sir.
here or there. And it's a one-time deal, and it's just to provide some training so that people kind of know what to be looking for, or know what maybe is out of the norm, correct?
Yes, sir. We want people to give them some ideas of what something suspicious may look like.
Right.
You may not notice before that there's a car parked over in a cul-de-sac that you haven't seen before, and after this training that you may look at that and say, that car wasn't there yesterday, it hasn't been there before. A dome light's on, or a person sitting in it, it's occupied, or it's unoccupied and it's left idling. Those types of things, people who are approaching the rear of residences that you haven't seen before, people who are walking amongst parked cars that, it's just unusual behavior that you may not have noticed before. And following this training, our hope is that you notice it then and you make a phone call so the police department can respond and talk to these individuals and see what their status is.
You mentioned something very important there, the fact that the end result, if you see something, is not to approach and do something yourself. It's more about notifying the police department so that the men and women there can handle the situation as needed, correct?
Certainly. We don't want the citizens to approach the suspicious behavior and try to take care of themselves. We want them just to make a phone call to the police department. If it's an in-progress crime, then we want them to call 911, obviously. If it's something that they just think may be suspicious, that is kind of doesn't fit, then we would like them to call the non-emergency number, and the police will always respond, will always check out the situation. We want the citizens to know that you're never bothering the police department. That's our job. We count on these phone calls to get our job done. We can't do our job effectively without the total support of the community.
Understood. And I think that community is the key word here, is because people, if you live in if people live in a neighborhood or a small area, you certainly know as the ebb and flow of what kind of the traffic through there, And again, you know your community, and that's the point, is knowing it, and then, letting someone else know about it in case there's something, like you said, that's out of the norm, that fits in certain parameters. And I think that's some of the things that'll be covered in the training. Certainly a normal delivery person, we're not talking about something like that, but you're talking about something, again, that again, is out of the norm or seems suspicious. And again, let the public safety officials and y'all were trained for those situations, handle the situation if there would be something that comes out of it, of course. And again, that's where it kind of connects up to National Night Out, which of course is a partnership between the community and our public safety folks, police, fire and rescue, everybody coming together. And this is just an extension of that. Again, getting the community involved. It's sort of a neighborhood watch program without the neighborhood watch title. I mean, it's more lower key because it's almost like individuals taking action, so to speak, and being observant, like you noted, when they're out walking or their dog or doing whatever they're doing out there in the community, exercising, walking, running, whatever, right?
And the obligation is like a neighborhood watch program. The obligation in this particular program is not there. You're going to be doing what you normally do every day anyway.
Right.
You're going to be walking your dog. You're going to be out jogging. You'll be out taking a walk, and all we want you to do is be observant in your community, because we need to be, as citizens, we need to be vested in our community. It needs to be important to us on what takes place in our community, and the community and the citizens of Suffolk are our eyes and ears out there. We can't be everywhere, at every moment. So without the community support, without their partnership, we can't effectively do our job. And I mean, 95% of all crimes are solved with community involvement, with the good people in the community making phone calls, and what they think before it may not be anything, it may be everything.
Right.
So we were asking that after this training, after we learn what suspicious behavior can be and the things to look for and how to keep yourself safe, we're asking that while you're out and about, if you see something of this nature, that you make a phone call and let the police check it out. And it may be the difference between solving a rash of car break-ins or a rash of breaking and enterings, or not solving it.
Correct. Good deal. So again, it's just being active in your community, so to speak.
Most definitely.
We talked again about the event coming up on July 23rd, 6 o'clock, City Council Chamber, free and open to the public. Come on out. Again, it's a very short event. Again, it doesn't involve multiple weeks of training. It's just sort of a one-time thing where you or your partners will be there to kind of talk about it. And just in brief, capsulize what people can expect if they come on out on the 23rd.
On the 23rd, what we want to do is go through and tell them what the Dog Walker Watch program is, what suspicious activity looks like. We want them to know that people aren't suspicious, that people's behavior is what is suspicious, and we want to teach them to know what that behavior is. We want them to know how to keep themselves safe while they're out walking their dogs, while they're out jogging, or while they're out just walking. The things that they can do to keep themselves safe, and what information that they need to give our dispatchers when they call, when they see suspicious behavior. This is what the dispatcher is going to be looking for, descriptions and things of that nature. So in an hour or less, or maybe a little more, then we'll go through the process of how to keep yourself safe, what is suspicious activity, and what you can do when you see that suspicious activity.
And again, the great thing is, you noted, you don't have to change your routine to make this program work.
Certainly, just do what you do every day.
Right.
We're just asking you to keep your eyes open a little bit more, and to make a phone call when you see something that doesn't look right to you.
And again, I mentioned neighborhood watch programs. This, fits nicely whether you have a neighborhood watch program or you don't, because it's dependent upon the individuals in these situations.
Yes, sir.
And again, certainly, we have great neighborhood watch programs throughout the city of Suffolk, and want to encourage them to continue doing what they do to help public safety and everyone kind of stay safe here in the city of Suffolk. But again, nice way to kind of tap into your normal routine. Just again, as you said, just being a little more observant again when you're out and about.
We believe it's going to be a very good program, and hopefully we can branch off of this into other programs of this nature where it just requires us to be more observant.
Got it. And again, certainly the men and women of Suffolk Police, they can't be everywhere, but again, having extra eyes and ears out there assisting to provide information back given circumstances that are suspicious. And as you noted, it's suspicious behavior, not the suspicious person per se as
Most
much.
definitely, yes, sir.
And drawing that distinction there. Again, so Captain Bowie, thank you for being with us today. Talk about the Dog Walker Watch program. Again, the event, the training coming up it'll be Thursday, July 23rd, 6 o'clock, City Council Chamber in the new City Hall building here on West Washington Street. So we invite everyone to come on out, take part in that. And again, thank you and your staff for all y'all do to keep us safe and to bring programs like this and make them work for our communities to keep them safer. And again, strengthening that bond between public safety folks as well as our community.
Thanks for having me, Tim, and we look forward to seeing everybody on July 23rd.
Good deal. All right. Thank you again, Captain. And that will do it for this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. We'll see you next time.